Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the scene for the Changeling venue. We have General Baron Valarius and his ward, Sir Rychard, Romulus, Grace, and Ap Gwydion, as they sit and talk about their earlier training. And right now, they're currently sitting in his freehold, where they're just talking and chatting. We can start our scene now. Baron will forward at you and basically say, I hope I didn't run you too ragged this morning.
No, not at all. I've
Alright.
I've been in a boxing gym 5 days out of the week since I was about 8 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of. How come?
Well, when I was growing up, when I was really little, I had an anger problem, very bad anger problem,
Hmm.
and I hated seeing people get bullied as a kid. So whenever that would happen, I would step in and it would escalate. One day when I was in third grade, it escalated to the point where I attacked this poor boy to the point where he had to he had to get medical attention. And one of my teachers, well, my only teacher at this time, suggested instead of therapy, I found an avenue to let out my aggression. And so he talked to my parents, and they brought me down to this gym. And he and a couple of other people taught me how to box. So I've been in amateur leagues ever since I was 8 years old.
8 years old. That must be odd.
No, not really. I mean, it was fun. It
Um,
really helped me, actually. I mean, it made me a happier kid.
well, that's good.
I sort of went from being the kid that everybody avoided to being everybody's big brother. It's kind of nice.
It's good to have purpose.
Indeed. Look,
So, tell me, I'm pretty sure you have questions for me,
well,
but we haven't really
yes,
spoken, and
that's
this is as
true.
good as time as any. So,
I met Eve, by the way.
she's great, huh?
She definitely she knows how to get people talking, and it's nice to actually talk to people. Like I told her, I mean, this is also new for me, so I keep I feel like I'm so awkward around everything. I feel part of me feels like if I do something even minutely wrong, I'll be out on my ass.
Well, to be fair, our first meeting and everything that happened that night is probably a little traumatizing, but it needed to happen, and that was probably one of the easiest, ones that I've seen.
Well, it didn't feel easy. There was a lot of pain.
Well, you didn't lose your mind, and we didn't have to get you out of an insane asylum, so that's sort of
That's
good.
that's true. At least everyone was there. I guess it could have been worse. I could have been in the middle of the street.
Yeah, And not knowing anyone, there's a lot of our kind that sometimes completely lose themselves as insane people who get lost and left in any place from psychiatric wards to prisons for the criminally or emotionally insane.
That would have been bad. But now I have a whole slew of other problems. Like, what am I to do with my family? I mean, my father and I haven't really talked much since my mother died.
Um, that, my friend, is completely up to you. Do you want a relationship with him? There's
My
no
father
reason.
and I became sort of estranged after my mother died. He wanted me to continue school and go to work with him on Wall Street, and I didn't want that.
Is that what you want?
I don't want that. I
No, 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 no. I mean, do you want a relationship with your dad?
I'm not sure. When I went through my chrysalis is the term, yeah.
Yeah.
When I went through the chrysalis, there was a man that I was always arguing with. I see flashes of it. I don't remember any of the arguments, but he reminded me of my father a lot.
Um,
But as far as that goes, I mean, I do have friends. My bandmates that I taught that you saw.
mhm.
They haven't, they haven't seen me in a while. They're probably worried.
Yes. No, not so much. When you came here your first night, I had it arranged that they assumed that you were whisked away on popularity. So they believe that
Oh,
you're super popular now.
so they think I'm ignoring them. Awesome.
Not so much ignoring them, it's just that someone took an interest in you. We cleaned it up the best we could without telling them too much pertinent issues.
Right. I mean, I heard that Eve, for your wedding, had to enchant her family
Yeah.
so they could see there. And yet, even then, they didn't remember. So it's not like I could bring them here, show
No,
them,
they
show
would
them this.
forget. I mean, that's part of your life now. I mean, you could have relationships with your dad,
It feels
as
so
far
weird.
as as far as you having him knowing about what you are in your house and everything like that, I don't think you won't be able to make him a part of this unless you take him on as a dreamer or something like that.
I don't know. He's not very into. He's very into the 9 to 5 and schedules, and it's just. I don't think it would mesh well.
Well, um,
I think. I think I'll just see about seeing him during the important events. Birthdays, holidays, that kind of thing. I don't think it would bother him much.
well, it's not so much what's bothering him. I mean, you're my responsibility now. I care much about what bothers and upsets you.
Well, about that. I think I should apologize for my actions during the hunt.
Why?
The whole thing with the Countess,
Mm.
I reacted badly.
No, you didn't.
but I'm confused. You made it sound like it was a bad thing that I was acting in
It's a
such a...
bad thing that you did that in public. Not that your thoughts and your views and what you felt was wrong.
Oh,
That was wrong. You feeling the way you felt was not wrong. So much, in fact, that I admire it greatly.
really?
It's not. It takes a while that I didn't grow up human. I grew up I was raised. I was born a changeling. So
Really?
yeah.
That happens?
hmm Yeah. My mom's a she and my dad's a setter.
Huh.
And a lot of sometimes don't take this the wrong way. It's hard for me to understand sometimes where people are coming from because I never really had to deal with the human aspect of it too much. But other than that, I sometimes I can be a little too crass or too straightforward in my way of thinking. But yeah, like as I was saying, I don't disagree with what you said. In fact, I fully endorse it. I mean,
Is there anything that can be done?
that within is the problem, isn't it? How much do you know? Well, you don't know anything, so let me just start from the beginning. Um, do you know once there was a great and powerful, almost romantic hero from the Gwydion house. Um, we talk fondly of him as High King David. Um, High King David was one of a gentleman I've only met once.
You've
Um, I
actually
was
met him.
I was a childling then. I don't remember much of it, but I do remember meeting him vaguely.
What was he like?
Oh, he was big. As far as I can remember, he seemed to have like a sense of honor and purpose about him. It was awe-inspiring. But yeah, I
He's
just
missing
kind of
now.
hmm?
He's missing now, isn't he?
I haven't seen him. Um,
Eve talked to me about this. He's missing,
mhm,
and Queen Mab
right?
has taken on regency of the Kingdom of Apples,
Mhm.
right? But High King David's sister wants the regency.
Morwen does indeed want the regency, and is currently contested by the adopted daughter of High King David, Princess Lenore.
No, no. Like the Popo?
As Valarius starts laughing. Don't say that's her face, of course, but
Oh, of course.
but yeah,
But like spelling, that's what I meant.
yes, as he says, I was thinking about something totally different, but yes, spelling, of course.
Sorry.
But yeah,
One thing that my father has said that I've taken to heart is a mind is like any blade. If it's not sharpened, it grows dull. So,
indeed. But yes, Princess Lenore. and his sister Morwen, who claims not to have any power, but that's not the case. She wields quite a bit of power.
I would assume so. She's the High King's
Yes,
sister.
exactly.
It would seem weird for her not to wield any power, even if it's not obvious.
Right. But but back to the story. Um, there was a time where commoners, and commoners are those who are not like us. Commoners are those who are not nobility,
Non-she.
non-she. And during this time of what I'm referring to is the Accordance War, where High King David was basically able to bring about peace, and commerce and she were able to get along and not, fight and kill one another. Um, as Valarius walks over to his personal library and hands you a book.
All right.
There you go. You don't have to finish that or return it. Just it details all of the important battles, key figures, and a lot of what High King David stood for and stands for.
I think I like this King David.
A lot of people did. He was in many respects an awesome guy. But now we're in a time where a lot of individuals want to, in my opinion, abuse power.
I heard about that. Regent Guile, I think it was.
Regent Guile, or Duke Guile, is a member of House of Lily. He was serving as the regent under Queen Mab. He is a worm, a snake, a liar, and a person I am not fond of knowing and or meeting ever again. A death of cold iron is too good for him. As
Anyone who would willingly commit genocide.
he is not one of those individuals. Yeah, that's Valerius just shakes his head. But we won't get into that. You can do a perception empathy because there's something about he's definitely not telling things like.
All right. I have attention to detail, so as a perception.
Mm-hmm.
So, that 10 is knocked out, but that's at least 2 successes.
The tens count as doubles, so it's 3.
Well, no, because I got a 1, remember?
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's at least 2 successes. So yeah, something about Duke Guile and the conversation we were having, had a very sour note with Valerius.
Are you okay?
You ever? It's unbecoming for me to talk to you about this, and most would frown upon it. So
Well, I mean,
you
who
you
am I
have to
gonna
learn.
tell?
You have to learn some way. Um, when you believe someone and you believe that they're doing the right thing, you get comfortable with them. You try and you really want to, how should I say this? You want to believe what they're telling you. wholeheartedly at the at the face of their words, but to find out that a person like Dugal has not only lied, but he's taking the lives of numerous people in his power
Innocence.
schemes. It's disgusting, and I don't like it.
You feel personally betrayed by him?
Indeed, and I'm trying not to, it's unbefitting of a baron to act in such a way, even in front of you. But I have personal grievances with him.
I
I
can
should
understand that.
I should have killed him, but
Well, he's having a trial soon.
yeah, he's having a trial.
Are you going?
I have to go.
I'll go with you.
Well, you would have to go too. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But
Oh, I have to go?
yes, you have to go.
Why
I
is that?
believe, I believe it'll be a good learning experience for you to see how politics works and how to see other she commoners, commoners with titles, and how they work. As I believe,
There's
I
a window nearby, right?
mm,
Is there a window nearby?
yeah, there's a window nearby.
He's gonna walk over there, and if you want to do perception empathy, that's cool.
Waiting for Daystream. Da, 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 da. Uh, that's at least one success.
Well, he's not hiding it very much.
Uh,
When you say politics, he becomes very uncomfortable.
what's the,
And as he's looking out the window, he's gonna say, I have no choice, do I?
let me um let me rephrase that. In this world that we live in, you always have a choice to do what you need to do, what you have to do, and what's expected of you. This is one of those things
That
that I
word.
believe,
I
I
hate
believe
that word.
it can't be helped, unfortunately. You have to learn, and a lot of things
Being
being what you are, you have to. I'll be doing you a disservice if you didn't understand the position of power that you hold. Each day that you go on not knowing things is kind of it's a hindrance to you.
I hate when things are expected of me. When things are expected of me, I can disappoint people.
Well,
You
Richard,
can't.
expectations are what they are. It's what they are. It's like gossip. People will have opinions about the things you should do. But at the end of the day, the decisions that you make are 100% up to you.
There isn't really a decision I have to make. I have the ability to do something.
I
My
think.
actions, my words
Mhm.
have meaning, whether I want them to or not.
Right. That's the problem. That's what I want you to understand. Is just that not a lot of people care that you that you're newly just chrysalis, or that you're not too familiar with politics, or that some people just don't care and they want to use you to those to perpetuate whatever ends that they want to. Like, a lot of
All right.
people would assume that I not tell you this, but you deserve to know that
I'm gonna turn around and lean on the windowsill. So,
Gwydians are known for their valor in battle and their stalwartness,
I've been
house
reading.
color, their house colors of gold and green,
I've been reading.
valor, justice, majesty, and being stalwart leaders, generals, tacticians, on and on and on. However, with everything, including she, and never forget this, Rychard, we are indeed fallible. We make mistakes. Your birthright, your right as a she is that you will never ever look foolish. No power of cantrips will ever make you look less than. However, this specific right has blinded Moshi to the truth that we're not immortal creatures of beauty that are infallible and above the laws of the Ashit.
Just because.
We're
So
pretty.
basically, just because we can't be made fools of doesn't mean that we can't be fools ourselves.
Precisely.
So,
So, do you know about the Ashit?
no, I don't, actually. It's only the second time I've heard it mentioned.
All right. Um.
Can we take a small break? Tanya needs to go out.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cool.
Valarius can be seen pacing back and forth and reaching in for books and reading and just kind of glancing at Richard, hoping that he isn't going too fast or too slow. It's one of those things where he's seriously considering his words right now and what he should say, how he should say it. Also, he's just concerned about doing things right, actually living by the words that he has told countless individuals. one of those things where life, justice, and power are intrinsic parts of what we are and who we are. Glancing back at Richard.
I'm back.
Yes, so as Valarius walks over to the book he has picked up, the sheet are the laws that we, Fae, or changelings, agree to. But depending on your personal outlook on life, you can you tend to see these things differently. But these are the rights that each changeling, each Fae has. The right of demons, or basically, a lord is the king of his domain. He is the judge and jury over all crimes, large and small. His word is law. A noble expects obedience from his vassals and respect from all others in return. A noble respects the lord superior to him, which means, in your case, the countess you spoke of, is of higher rank. She deserves your respect.
Right.
However, it is in the land that we are in, you yourself, me, and everyone else, when you arrive at court, you will see Queen Mab. Queen Mab is indeed the ruler of this land, and you would, in this aspect, be under her laws and under her purview, and those she deems speak under her words, in this case, the new regent that will soon be elected. His words will be law. In your case with the Countess, since she is a visitor, you could, in certain aspects, decide to bring up charges if you so thought that that's what you wanted to do. However, it is one of those things where you would have to bring up a repertoire, a series of crimes and things where she has fallen, things where she has done things that are dishonorable.
Other than,
The one offense you saw. The knight that was wounded would have to be willing to speak up and say that this happened. But and in some cases, they won't in fear of losing rank, status, or prestige.
so this is a game.
It's always a game. But learning how to play the game is key.
The least I can say is the same thing that I said to Baroness Eve. And he'll look up and his shoulders will straighten, at least. She has informed me as to the necessity of playing the game.
I don't like the game. I honestly don't. If I had my way, I would take my wife and my children, as he smiles, and I would leave this land. I would. I would leave this land and I would travel onward to places unknown and fuck off.
But
But
we don't have the
unfortunately,
luxury of doing it, do we?
nope. At least I don't. Most of my friends are commoners. And that's the only real friends I've ever known. I can't leave my friends that way. Not living like that.
My guess is that not everybody treats commoners the way you do.
No, that is not the normal. I am extremely radical in my beliefs. You should know that. I treat
I,
commoners as equals. Most she do not. They are footstools.
but they're people.
Doesn't matter. They don't see them that way. I'm very serious about that, Richard.
I disagree with that.
As do I. This is why I do the things that I do.
Where can I help?
Let's continue with the training before you pledge loyalties and fealties.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying teach me
That's
so
what
I
I'm.
can help you.
The next is the right to dream. Now, changelings are creatures of glamour, and glamour is the things of dreams. Mortals that dream and believe in us feed us. Sometimes this can be things of glamour that we changelings use as currency, known as dross, and
Right?
sometimes it's the things we use to power our cantrips, the special abilities that we have. You used a few during our hunt.
Yes. I actually like them. They're quite fun, actually.
The more you study, the more you learn, the stronger they'll become and the stronger you'll get. But with these things, a lot of the law is that mortals have a right to dream unhindered by our needs. The dreaming will die if we steal directly from the font. So basically, if we abuse humans just to take glamour from them, we will cease to exist. Humans need to be able to have their dreams of knightly intrigue, of lust, of being heroes. They need to do that. Just because we aren't able to feed from that dream or gain glamour from it does not mean that we have the right to
Take it.
change it.
Alright. So,
Humans are very special, and usually with she and other kiths or other types of changelings, there are certain humans that we generally are drawn towards.
does that have anything to do that with that term that you said earlier, a dreamer?
Yes,
Right. Okay. So, a dreamer is a specific human that we choose to protect.
yes. A person whose dreams you find dear, sustainable, pleasing to you.
But then what would give us. I'm a little confused as to how that would still give us the right to take their dreams.
We need glamour in order to survive. But at the same time, we aren't supposed to abuse it.
Is there a way to gain glamour that doesn't involve taking somebody's dream?
Well, you gain glamour from doing all types of things. You gain glamour from sleeping here, sleeping in the dream, um, partaking in festivals, oaths, rituals. Tons of ways of getting glamour, but Humans are readily the easiest thing to do sometimes. But since we live in a land in an area that allows us that freedom, we can. We have freeholds. You're noble. You don't have that problem. Not everyone does.
Freeholds. Again, that's the second time that word has come up. What is a freehold exactly?
A freehold, as Valarius points around, is this. This is my home. And you get to shape it with your imagination. You are Lord in your freehold. Freehold is a place where you can sleep to regain glamour.
So, if somebody of higher ranking came to your freehold,
Right.
right, they would still be of higher rank, but would they have to defer to you?
Precisely, because this is my land. As
Your
Valerius,
territory, your rules.
my rules. My land, my rules. But there are certain universal rules that we all must follow, which is the sheep.
Right. And the next one?
As Valerius points outside, and he points to a few commoners and a few nobles, those are my subjects. What I say here is law. They
Right.
have to listen.
Fair enough.
On to the next part. Right to ignorance. This may seem a little hard for you, being that you're a Gwydion,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not to reveal yourself to other humans. You have to. There's a certain part of you that has to keep your nature a secret,
Right. Okay.
which makes
So,
you mentioned earlier about you having friends. There might be certain times you might have to outright lie,
I hate lying.
or at least curb the truth. There will be times where I'll have to call on you to do something that might conflict with what your friends may think or feel, and I need to know that you have to understand that they're humans, they're dreamers, they're important, that there's certain things that they just can't know about.
They're not us.
Exactly.
They
We
need to
have
be
to protect.
Okay. All right. That makes it easier. Well, lying for their protection, even though,
I wouldn't say lying. I would more say, in your case,
edging the truth.
yes, leaving certain things out.
Like saying, like what you did, for instance, instead of saying, oh, he's going off to uh, where he's, supposed to be, the dreaming and all this, somebody has taken interest in him.
Exactly.
It's not technically a lie, but not the whole truth.
Precisely. Because you see, if humanity were to know about us, they would seek us out. And this human ability to try to rationalize, to try to make things boring, commit it down to a science,
The meaning of life and the
that
universe.
that would destroy us.
Right. Okay. And I'm guessing that has to do with banality, too.
Banality it harms the dreaming.
It's the
The normal.
excess of normal?
It's the things of repetition, the things that follow order, principle, and routine.
But okay, if we have these laws, isn't that inherently banal?
Good point. But I'm going to explain that in a bit. Just let me just finish out the basics before we.
Get into complex subjects?
Exactly.
Okay, be right back.
Um, the next one is the right to rescue. All Cathane have the right to expect rescue from the foul grip of normality. So if you see someone that's doing things that's a little bit too serious, a little bit too banal, it's your job to help them. And there are sometimes other things that cause banality, but we'll get into that later. But just know that we have the right to rescue those of our essence
All
from
right.
banality.
No, no, no. Let's continue before I ask more questions.
The next one is the right to safe haven. All places of the dreaming are sacred.
Okay.
We cannot allow these places of glamour to be endangered. So, which goes back to the right of ignorance. The less humans know, the better. And those humans are those, for example, like the Countess who seek refuge in places like Taranab, a hunt, for example. They have a right to safe haven. They have a right to visit, to be a part. And our freeholds, such as they are to be kept free of.
Do the Adhene have these right?
That's part of the question now, isn't it?
Sorry. I'll stop asking questions.
Let me just get you the basics, and then we can talk about the different extrapolations.
Yeah.
Also, this is very important for you since you're a Gwydion. There will be times where you'll get upset at people, unnaturally so, and you will not be able to stop yourself because, from whatever reason, I've seen it in every Gwydion. If they feel that they've been insulted, they will fly off the handle. You are not to kill another Cathane.
Right.
Taking the lifeblood of another Cathane is a sin because you just destroyed something of glamour. Something that everything in this world deserves to live in some way. By you snuffing out that life force, you harm the dreaming.
What if somebody is attacking me?
Now we can ask our wonderful exploratory questions. If someone attacks you as your lord, currently, because I am,
Mm-hmm.
I would tell you to defend yourself to the best of your ability. But there's always that part of you that knows, that intrinsically knows when you're going too far.
All right.
Now, as Valarius looks at you and kind of closes the window because he doesn't want to be overheard about this, I I'm Sealy. And what Sealy is that I have a very close adherence to the law. I believe in things that have order, that have more of a for the good of something. I'm more, I think about the well-being of others.
I could
Usually,
get behind that.
let me see if I can break this down for you a little better. As Valarius goes and picks up another book, basically what I believe as he looks up is death before dishonor. So if I do something to you, I will kill myself, quite literally, to defend my honor. So I will die before I would have my own honor and my own view beliefs besmirched. This is my core beliefs, and with these beliefs, I hold to a specific set of values to be a sheet, which I just discussed. So it's up to each changeling to figure out how they see these rules and how they tackle with it. For I believe in love, beauty, and I never forget a debt. Unsealies, however, believe change is good. Change happens. Stagnation is the root of banality. Glamour is free. Honor is a lie. And passion before duty. It is up to you to figure out which ones or which parts of these aspects, these philosophies you want to adhere to. Because with these views and aspects, there's rarely a middle ground. It's either you believe something or you don't.
Okay.
However, I will say that this is a land where pretty much everyone affiliated here is a Sealy. They believe it. However, if this is your path and this is what you want to choose, then I would say keep certain aspects of your personality to yourself.
Right.
Because once people know, they know.
You don't want to. You don't want to let everybody know that you're the smartest person in it.
Specifically, put it in very simple terms.
All right.
You aren't spending all your time here, are you?
I've ventured out a couple of times.
No, I mean in the dreaming. You aren't spending all of your time here.
Well, I mean, I was at that bar.
That's good. You have to take breaks and not stay in the dreaming too long. You'll you'll go insane.
Bedlam, the term, right?
Right. You need to go out, walk amongst humans, talk, get into a fight or two, do whatever you have to do, but don't spend all of your time here. I've been close to Bedlam quite a few times.
So this existence is a balancing act.
Exactly.
You know, you grow up, you think you'll pay taxes, you know, get a job, family. And now all of a sudden, I have insanity and what's the word?
Banal.
Boredom
Yes, banality, boredom.
to balance.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I'll go,
Cuckoo, or
yeah,
cease to exist, or forget who you are. Um, the more banality affects you, the more you forget about who you are or what you are.
I
Changelings
just,
are changelings as they are. Most people would disagree, but I think they're ever-changing things. A little unseelie in that regard, but changelings are wild, unpredictable.
I
Do you
was
know
just,
what?
hmm?
Well, that's enough about our laws. Do you know about oaths?
I've read a few stories. Um,
No, it's far more deeper than that.
well, I mean, myths and stuff like that. Like, Kukulon, for instance,
Hmm.
who was stuck between his own personal oath to never reject hospitality and an oath to never eat dog meat.
Hmm.
He was at a, I forget where, he was at a table at, I think, a lord's house, and he was offered hospitality, including food. And that
Hmm.
food happened to be dog meat, which he refused to eat. And because of that, he soon fell in battle. Is that sort of how it works?
Oaths, there is some truth to what you said, but oaths generally, and the it's your swearing upon the dreaming. It's you saying that you're going to do something. Did you ever in school make a promise to someone?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
That's kind of what it is. It's like making a promise to someone that you'll never do something or that you will
But,
do something. But when
right.
you make these promises, you make this to the reality in which we live in. So
And
should you
it remembers.
it remembers. So if you should ever break these promises, the dreaming will come down upon you quite hard. For example,
Because you're making something a reality in a dream, and by breaking it, you're breaking something of glamour, right?
essentially, yes. But I'll give myself as an example. I took the oath of true hearts with Eve, right?
Like
Now, if
marriage vows?
hmm,
Like marriage vows?
it's a little stronger than marriage vows. True hearts, basically, I give myself to Eve in all ways. That as he gets kind of quiet, she is my heart, and that I will never ever look upon someone else the way I look upon her. I will never offer myself in that way to someone else. I'm hers until
So
the
you
end of
vowed
time.
never to fall in love with anybody else.
Exactly. And she did the same for me. If that vow were to ever be broken, um, as he kind of perception, Kenny,
Yeah, I think I got it.
You see a songbird on his shoulder.
Hmm.
This bird will cease singing, and now I'll be known as an oath breaker.
Oh,
An
okay.
oath breaker is a person that breaks an oath. That
Yes.
is a terrible thing in the dreaming. Do not become an oath breaker.
Okay.
No court will accept you that I know of. No court, no place. Your life will become very difficult. Extraordinarily so.
So there's no way to redeem yourself for breaking an oath.
There are ordeals where you go into the dreaming and ask for forgiveness, but the chances of the dreaming accepting it is one thing. Your peers and your comrades accepting it is indeed another.
So the dreaming may forgive you, but your friends or people around you probably won't forget.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Now,
So if some slua or some dubious person with dubious intentions comes to you and wants to make an oath of clasped hands where you become best friends for like a year and a day, at least until I would say don't make any oaths until you're sure in your gut that you can trust that person.
right. This is getting vastly more complicated than I thought.
It takes time.
Now, how do we act as far as other supernaturals go? Are there other supernatural beings out there?
I've met them. They're from what I've met. Um, I don't know much about them, but they turn into big hairy beasts. I think they're called Guru, and
Like the term loop guru?
something like that. I profess that I've only seen them a few times, and I have a few friends, but as far as what they are, primarily, I'm confused by. Rather, I haven't taken the time to learn.
Right.
Um, from what I've heard, there are bloodsuckers. From that one time we questioned Countess Anne, and those are the only ones I know about.
Bloodsuckers. Vampires?
Yeah, apparently they exist too.
All right. So, werewolves and vampires?
Hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Everything else is pretty much a mystery to me.
Where do the Adhene fit into all of this? I,
The Adhene are creatures who are from the dreaming
mhm.
and are very old dreams.
Yes. Your wife said something very much the same.
Very old dreams, very, I want to say, archaic dreams of dreams that don't happen anymore, usually.
And how do they exist?
I'm still learning, but they seem to have many facets, many different parts of them. I've met with them, I've fought against them, I've killed some, many. Um, you should probably make a perception empathy.
Okay. Yeah, that's one and two. That's four successes.
You there's you feel an immense sense of guilt come off of Valarius. It's
It
quite
was a
heavy.
war, wasn't it?
Huh?
It was a war, wasn't it?
Yeah, immense sense of guilt. As he kind of tries to get off the subject. But
I met
as I
one.
was, hmm?
I think I met one.
When?
The bar.
Oh,
She, when I went up to talk to her, um, she asked if she needed to leave. That there was some sort of agreement.
mm.
What is that?
That situation, I would honestly have to say that I don't believe we have issues, but I'll have to see.
She asked for something precious of mine. If I wanted to see her again.
You, what did you give her?
I didn't give her anything when she asked.
Say that again, you kind of broke up.
I didn't give her anything when she asked. I didn't have anything on me at the time.
A lot of their ways, I'll have to say, I'm pretty ignorant to, but some of which through battles and things that I've fought, I've picked up.
Would it be alright if I met her again?
I would prefer to be there because of the political climate. I don't want you to get in trouble.
I can understand that.
In a lot of ways, as he points to himself and you in kind of a conversational way, in a lot of ways, I am very responsible for you. In Changeling society, we call this a ward. An award is basically your learning. Your sins and what you do wrong are my sins because I am teaching you.
Oh boy. So anything that I do that other people don't agree that other people don't agree with will come down on you.
I take this on for you because I believe that everyone deserves to learn. Everyone deserves to understand and everyone deserves to have a fair shake.
I think I'm starting to understand a little bit better. So, politics.
What about them?
I've never even thought of being involved with them. Sure, I voted when I could, but if I'm expected to take part in politics.
Mm-hmm.
I'll need to learn how.
I teach at a place called Krell. It is a war college where I teach battle training, tactics, how to better fight banality in its forms, and I also teach courtly etiquette. Most of the etiquette and how to conduct yourself in proper society is taught by myself, but a lot of teachers from House Fiona and along with a lot of members of House Dougal have agreed to help me in this endeavor. So
You
if
know,
it's really your wish, you could come and learn.
I think I'll attend a class or two.
All right.
Though I do learn better with practice. Practical.
Well, um, I believe that in order to, as I tell all of my students, you are no different. You have to, in order to go to this college, you have to pay one permanent dross. Glamour, as we know it, is temporary. You can put a little bit in a paper clip, a pen, a pencil, and so forth, but glamour that is permanent doesn't change. It remains constant. Permanent glamour is extremely rare.
So I
However,
would have to get my hands on a piece of this permanent dross then.
let me finish.
Okay.
But as is said on the application, when you apply to go to such a school such as mine, you have to give me a reason, either pay the permanent dross or you have to give me a reason, a really good reason on why you should attend.
Okay.
I urge you to not give a decision tonight, that you honestly sit down as he hands you a few papers about the different classes and people that are going to be teaching there, stuff about cantrips and so on and so forth. Think long and hard before you decide to go here.
I will. You've given me a lot to think about today.
But when you're ready, and when you think you're ready, come back to me either with a permanent dross or your reason on why you should go here.
I will. So, was there anything else?
Um, no. How is life coming along for you?
Well, it's a bit odd. I mean, adjusting to all this and everything else. I mean, my mind is being pulled in so many directions. I mean, I want to learn. I want to learn how to be what I am.
Hmm.
I want to learn what I am. And also, I really want to figure out who I was.
All of that takes time and preparation. There's an art called soothsay, which allows
Hmm.
for divination. I believe there are places in which you can go and learn here here. there are books and libraries here. You can talk to a few of my attendants and ask to go to the Infinite Library. That's my personal guest, where you can
Infinite
learn,
library?
yes, a bigger library than the one that Eve showed you at Tarno or at Home Fires, either or.
It was the Home Fires library. Found an interesting book. Well, I mean, I found an interesting dozen books, but there's a book there on my house that I've been reading.
Anything that you want to be transcribed so you can read later, just tell the attendants to bill me and that you can take whatever you want.
Okay, thank you. I'll probably make use of that very soon, actually. I'm
Um,
currently in the middle of this. I'm currently in the middle of the story of the first Gwydion.
Good.
I actually like him a lot. The
Most of
story of him and his 300.
it's quite a famous story.
I can see why. I mean, spending a year and a day in each of his favorite animal forms,
Mm.
that takes a lot of willpower.
You'll find that most of our traditions follow that formula, year and a day, 10 years plus a day. Everything goes in rhymes and fashions.
Okay.
But as I said again, since I am a general, each morning, 6 a.m., now you know where the barony is.
Mm-hmm.
You train with me and my soldiers.
Of course. I have to learn how to use these properly.
Uh, as Valarius kind of sizes you up. What what do you say? What would you say? Are you we'll keep it in character. Are you skilled with those as he points to your sword?
There are times where they're utterly familiar to me, where I draw them out and they feel like extensions of my arms. And then there are other times where I'm lucky if I can hold the hilt.
Would you like to practice?
Yes, actually.
Good. So with the morning workouts, I'll put some time aside and I'll train with you. It takes a bit of doing, but you'll get it.
I can use, because of boxing, I can actually use both hands very well.
You learn better than me. It just took a few times of me cutting my hands and then I got used to it.
Interested as to why.
I was young and stupid. I wanted to had this dream of being like this amazing warrior. I was what I couldn't have been no older than it's a while ago. I was still a childling then.
Do we live longer than normal humans?
The time that you spend here in the dreaming, time stops.
Really?
Really.
I see.
When you leave the dreaming, time resumes. So there will come
It's
times when you will meet your friends where your explanations about how you look and how you act and why you're so young will have to get creative.
I see. But spending too much time in the dreaming can make you go insane, right?
Spending not enough time in the dreaming, you'll forget who you are.
All right. Okay then. I have a lot to think about now.
But remember, you're always supposed to have fun. Never forget that.
Of course.
This is the place of dreams and merriment, of course. You're supposed to have fun.
Apparently not a lot of fun, according to Duchess Megan.
She's an old stiff. Don't tell her I told you that, though.
I won't.
Actually,
Hmm.
I think the childlings are going to have a food fight this evening. You want to go?
Sure. Why not?
Alright. As Valarius goes and with Sir Richard and they go to attend a food fight. Have some fun.
Okay then.
Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot to think about where the character is going for me out of character, as much as in character. So,
Good.
because like I said, I mean, this is I'm not new. I'm not new to White Wolf in general. I'm new to Changeling, both in and out of character.
Sweet. Alright, so we'll end the scene there.
All right.
Thanks guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye.